Greetings fellow tank commanders. In this video I'm going to be showing you a game that I played in the Conqueror. This is a tier 9 British tech tree heavy tank which leads the FV215B and Chieftain. The game I'm playing is a standard battle on highway with tier 9 as the top tier and 1 artillery on each team. My team has 4 tier 9 tanks and the enemy only has 3. For this game I am platooned up with Insanely Crazy 14, who is using a T-54E1. My tank is equipped with an enhanced gun laying drive, a tank gun rammer, and coated optics. This is a pretty balanced loadout to help my Conqueror be better at both dealing damage and assisting with it. I have my Conqueror supplied with a large repair kit, large first aid kit, and automatic fire extinguisher. I find the larger kits very useful for the Conqueror, since it's pretty soft by heavy tank standards. Also, it's prone to ammo rack damage, and it's a favorite target of artillery. I noticed that my performance is much more reliable when I use these larger kits. My platoon mate has already taken a lot of damage, so I've switched to my APCR shells so that I can provide as much support as possible for him. Now the side armor of the Conqueror is only 50mm thick. When you compare that to the E75 side armor of 120, the Conqueror definitely isn't the best candidate for side scraping. Since you can't really angle your side armor out at all, you pretty much just have to go straight back, which reveals your lower plate. It's quite easy for tanks to target that lower plate when side scraping, especially when you and the enemy are on equally flat terrain. For this situation, it actually works quite effectively. And because of the distance I'm at, it's a lot harder to target the lower plate, and so a lot of shots end up going into my track. Now, since the Conqueror's main strength is its gun, I'm always happy to get a target-rich environment where I can use the gun's reliable performance and high damage per minute to its full extent. With an accuracy of 0.33 and a good aim time, it is a very enjoyable gun to use at mid to long range. Now, unfortunately, the enemy artillery has been targeting my platoon mate, and with the M103 that came with us on this flank having been destroyed as well, I am now all alone, and there are more than enough enemies to swarm me. Now, usually I don't like to just auto-lock on light tanks that are circling around me like that, but I was far more concerned with having my front armor to him so I could block the shots. It paid off and I only took 1 damage hit. Now I've got 3 enemies that are trying to swarm me. I'm trying to even the odds as fast as possible, so I'm going to take out the Fatherland and medium tank first. I really didn't need to be on APCR shells for these next few shots, but with the situation being as intense as it is, I wasn't going to waste time fumbling with the different ammunition. This light tank is able to make a fool out of me quite easily, but with the terrain being as flat and open as it is easy for him to take full advantage of his mobility and circle me. I was trying to rotate my hull and turret as much as possible to just try to keep up with him. But now there's an overwatching medium tank shooting at me, so I have to get in behind the house. Damn, this T-71 is a nuisance. His luck has finally run out though. There was no way I was gonna miss this shot. That T-71 needed to die. But wow, what a great performance on his part. Now I'm in a very difficult situation here because even an indirect hit from the artillery could easily finish me off. And since I'm having trouble getting rid of my 6th sense here, I've got to just hold tight and wait for something to happen. Now I had switched back to my regular AP round because I didn't want to use up all my remaining APCR shells in case I came across a tough target. But since I bounced that first shot off the T-28 prototype, I can't afford to bounce another shot with my hit points being what they are. The side scraping pays off for me again. But gosh, these guys just keep coming at me. I'm really glad that I held on to that repair kit all this time, because it absolutely saved my life here. Now that's a pretty cheeky shot right there. I finally got some more support from my teammates, so I'm just going to sit tight until my teammates can finish off that T-28 prototype. My team has a pretty clear advantage now, but I'm going to proceed with extreme caution, since they do still have a Tortoise and that M53-55 artillery. This is definitely not how I want to use my last APCR shell, but I definitely couldn't pass up easy damage on that tank destroyer. It may seem a little cowardly to run away at this stage in the game, but it pays off for me because the artillery was targeting me. The Conqueror is a very enjoyable tier 9 tank to use, since it can excel at long-range fighting when there's a dominantly tier 10 game. It can play as an excellent medium-range fighter when forces are equally matched. Its high penetration and good DPM also make it a good support tank for heavy tank pushes. It's not the best hull-down fighter, but you can find some good situations where you can get some tricky gun depression and do quite well. And then of course there are those situations where you're top tier and facing a bunch of lightly armored enemies and you can just roll on through them. My teammates have spotted out the tank destroyer in the middle of the map, but wow, my T-28 prototype teammate just gets demolished by the enemy tank destroyers and artillery. I was quite surprised that this tortoise was still at full health and that he had been hanging around on this flank, but I hadn't come across him yet. This tortoise only got 892 damage during the game, and if he had have come over to where I was fighting, the game probably would have turned out a lot differently. I definitely sympathize with the enemy team, since they already had one less tier 9 than us, and this tortoise didn't make a significant impact. Oh wow, would you look at that. 1,422 damage from our M53-55 to that tortoise. What a shot. Now all that's left is that cursed arty which destroyed my platoon mate. There is no way I'm letting anyone take this revenge kill from me. Now let's check the post-game stats and see how I did. Now for this game I only earned a pathetic 1,361 silver. I did use a larger repair kit and 19 APCR shells, but that's the cost of using large kits and premium ammunition with a non-premium tank. I earned 3,360 experience without any multipliers. In this game I dealt 6,193 damage, assisted with 3,547 damage, destroyed 6 enemy tanks, and blocked 1,780 damage. This earned me High Caliber, Steel Wall, Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, and Top Gun. But more importantly, it earned me 5 points towards my UK Madness completion. I placed at the top of my team, earning a base XP of 2,240. My platoon mate, Insanely Crazy 14, dealt 1,934 damage. And as a platoon, we dealt more than 8,000 damage. The artillery had a huge impact on this game, with our artillery dealing 3,458 damage, and the enemies dealing 4,200 damage. I managed to hit 23 of my 26 shots, and dealt 19 damaging hits. I am very pleased with those stats. During this game, I destroyed the gun on the STA-2, damaged the fuel tank on the Fatherland, and damaged the ammo rack on the T-71. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing this awesomely fun game that I played with the Conqueror, and that it'll help you reach your maximum potential with this beast of a tank. Stay tuned for more awesome World of Tanks videos.